Okay, we're starting. We're going live on YouTube. I hope everyone's doing well. How's it going, Roy? Okay. I'm gonna pause this. I really hope quality doesn't suck today, but I have a hunch it might. On life support. Let me know if it stutters, or if I stutter, or if, really anything. I mean, not me. Like, if I verbally stutter, don't let me know on that. That's just gonna make me self-conscious. But, yeah, let me know if anyone is up to anything. Let me know. What's the weekend plans? And they don't have to be exciting. Whenever people ask me that, like, what are your weekend plans? I'm like, nothing. Like, that's not really true. Like, I do plan on doing the same stuff I always do. I feel like I would say that, like, even though that is my plans, you know? Like, for some reason in my head, when people ask me what are my plans, it makes me think of, like, I have to have something on a calendar, and, like, I don't know, I don't have anything on my calendar. But, like, no, they're just asking what you're doing. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being... treating... We went realistic colors last stream, because we did a study stream, and maybe I'll introduce some of that. But I'm just going to start by putting down some color palettes. Just kind of making them up as I go. I don't know if they'll all be super bright, but we'll see. Ooh, hey Observer, how's it going? I haven't done it to do some sketching outdoors in my park, or maybe some painting, like plein air painting. Not on stream, but just like, you know, taking my easel. I have a little like easel that folds up into like a briefcase shape. And then you can pop it out. It doesn't have like a stand. I think you can probably get a stand, but I would just put it on like a park bench or something and paint. I thought about doing that. I want to here in a minute, so maybe in the coming weeks I will try to I'll make an effort to go outdoors and do some like plein air paint. I don't know. I'm not sure if I will actually. So, something about like doing things that are new. Doing it on stream is really hard, or sharing it at all, which I know I should be more comfortable with doing, but when I'm a total beginner, I don't know. And by a total beginner, I mean it definitely makes me a little self-conscious. Observer, what about you? Any big ideas? Not big ideas, big plans? But yeah, just putting some colors down. Maybe this one does have some of that. Different color in here. I just did the thing. I don't know. Inevitably, someone's going to come in and ask how I pick colors, which is funny because I don't really feel like I'm a great colorist. But I will say for these color palettes, maybe they're like a really desaturated, like a greenish color. And then what I'll do is I'll take that new color and like crank up the saturation, and then I'll use that as like new color that it forms from. Anyway, you'll take a shower and tea, and if I won't be too lazy, maybe something to drop. Nice, that sounds like a good plan. Shower, beverage, art. That's you know, on a day, there are some, you get your basic stuff ready, you know, you eat your breakfast, you do your whatever you got to do. Also, that annoying fly. I have a fly problem. Like, I've done my best to get rid of all of them, but there's occasionally, like, a little fly coming back. And it's just buzzing around. I try to open the window. Anyway. It's just so dang hot. I think they're... Anyway. But, yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, starting my day off with just, like, yeah, a shower, a nice cup of tea, getting, you know, just kind of getting comfy, relaxed, and then try to art. Something about that is, yeah, it's a good start to the day, for sure. Okay, all of this though, everything I'm doing on screen is just purely as like probably not a lot. I don't know. Maybe I will. Just putting down some colors. Starting maybe some complementary stuff, some opposite color wheel. Although I don't want to do like, I don't really, I mean, I guess that is kind of where I start. But I also think a lot about warm and cool, and like in each shape. I don't think I need the horizon line in every one like that. We can do some tall horizon lines maybe. Tall, that's not a thing. Tall horizon lines. No, some like high up. I find it's not a secret, but like I find the trick to colors for me is good, you know, it is like, again, it's weird. It feels so weird to say the trick to colors. How would I know the trick to colors? But the thing that I do, that I enjoy doing with colors, is just making sure you mix a lot of colors. So, like, put colors. No. But, like, you can start with, like, a couple complementary colors, or a dark color and a light color, a warm color and a cool color, and I can mix it into the existing colors, and now I have, like, a gradient of, like, red and purple. Like, if I just put the red full brightness, it might look a little funny, but I'm not doing that, right? I don't know. Actually, it doesn't look bad to put full brightness. Hey, K-Mousy! How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Maybe we will get a couple grayish color. I want to make sure I actually do... My goal is to actually not stick too long on any one of them, and then jump around, and that way I can play around with this sort of the full spectrum of thumbnails that I have. That's my goal for today, is just basically be not productive. Also, if I start lagging, please let me know. Hey, Sarah! Yo, I'm watching you. Hello, I'm watching you at a cafe. I hope you have headphones in. Hello, how's it going? Am I laggy? How, like, anything has changed? But yeah, how's it going, Sarah? How do I turn CC on? I'm dumb. I think it's a me problem. Caption. Oh gosh, I don't know. Yeah, it's a me problem. 1 second. Let me figure out how to turn it on. Oh, literally just a button. Okay. Let me click that. Connect with Twitch. I didn't... It sometimes... Yeah. So, I have a plugin called Stream-CC.Gooseman. I don't think Gooseman has anything to do with it, but that's just the browser. It is called... it's made by Talk. Just a plugin for your Twitch. You add a way to do it without having to load it up each stream, but I haven't figured that out. Anyway. But yeah, I'm just playing with colors. I'm literally just slapping colors on the canvas and trying to fill it up. I might actually try to do like 9 thumbnails today. There we go. Now we've got thumbnails. Maybe we get some more realistic ones. I don't know. I liked your recent studies. Hey, Kath, how's it going? Such lovely background music. Thanks. Is it audible? It might be a little quiet. But how are you, Kath? Congrats again on your exams that have gone well. And good luck on the future upcoming ones. For that, they weren't very in-depth. They were pretty... I don't know. I mean, some of them were study-ish in that I was trying new things, but some of them I felt like I was, you know, just talking. It was more like last stream wasn't so much of a study stream as it was a talking about study stream. Like, you know, basically like a how-to or like a how-to guide, except a how I study guide, I guess, from like if you were a total beginner or something, and like what is studying and how can you do it, and like what does that even mean, and like what do you focus on when you paint an image that you want to study from, and like that kind of, you know, work things out on stream and try to figure stuff out, because it was a bit of a study. So it was nice. Halfway there. Nice. But yeah, I don't know. Today I'm just feeling chill. I'm more just praying that my internet doesn't suck too much. If I do lag, please let me know. I do kind of want to make sure that gets solved. I think I've been too content. Oh my god, the fly is back. I've been too content with so I did fiddle with the settings today, but it clearly hasn't made it a bit of difference. That's nice. Maybe I added an overlay layer with a darker green. Your psychology exam, I think you said. Okay, this kind of works. Does that work? I don't know. 8, so maybe you're done studying for the day. Are you doing just like full on like 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day studying? Like are you going hard with it? Or like how much are you studying a day? That's one way to do it. I'm studying like a lot. Okay. With intermittent silk songing. Twitch censored your foul. Hold on. No way. Why would Twitch... First of all, Cat's a mod. Why would it censor... I think it did it for you, Sarah. Hold on, Sarah, do you have like child... Is it the butt again? No, Buttspot isn't here. Actually, I don't know where Buttspot... Hold on. Does it censor... Oh, you have safe censor. Okay, so it's... Oh, wait, I spelled it wrong. Yeah, Buttspot hasn't been here. I don't know what... I don't know... Did it censor that? That's so strange, though, that it didn't censor that one. Weird. Huh. Anyway. But yeah, I forgot that was even a thing. About Buttspot. Let's go to Buttspot. So basically, if you guys don't... I'm just saying butt a lot. If you guys don't know what Buttspot is, it's basically offline until further notice. Oh, so it's over a year. I never even noticed when it vanished. To light mode. As of 6/26, so January, February, March, April, May, June. As of June 26th of 2024, Twitch has prevented IRC bot accounts from joining more than 100 channels simultaneously. Buttspot is just an IRC bot with no actual Twitch integration, so it would need to be rewritten basically from scratch using events, webhooks, or conduits to be able to join the... We hadn't thought of it in over a year, and it just kind of silently went away, and I never noticed. F in chat for Buttspot. So basically what Buttspot would do is it would take... It would like... and replace certain words with butt, and so it would be like... You know, so it might take Cat's last message and say certain words, and it was just like, it would kind of troll people because they wouldn't even necessarily know what's about it first, other than its name was Buttspot. But yeah, it was just good fun, but it's gone. Rest in peace. That's okay. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Is anyone doing any art? I assume, Sarah, you're doing art if you're in a cafe, I assume you're arting in a cafe. Sounds chill. We don't really... I mean, well, one, I don't have a laptop, so it'd be hard to do art in a cafe. But you know what? I actually thought about that this morning. So there's this cafe that I walked by. Actually, it's a Starbucks. Who am I kidding? It's not a cafe. And when I walk by there, not every morning, but most mornings, there's just a bunch of people, and every single person in there, they're not allowed who's still working. I'm kind of jealous of that. Like they are all up working early. Like, you know, they're doing it because it's more productive for them, and if they don't do that, they'll just like laze around, and like, you know, it's because they figured out a routine that works for them. And I think that's cool. And I'm like, man, I should do stuff like that. You were hard arting all week. Nice. Oh yeah, I saw your tweet about sharing NDA stuff, or getting the approval to share NDA stuff, and that is exciting. I don't know if you've shared it yet, but if you have, I'm excited to see it. 6 a.m. Ew. I mean, it's a little early, but I'm already up at that time because of my work. So, yeah. Like, that's when I came home from work today. You just gotta... Did that just... Oh. Oh, you gotta spend some time formatting it to post it. Gotcha. Gotcha. It's VFX stuff and some more skins and props from Zadia. I see. Well, it'll be top secret. I know it's silly, but one, it's, you know, knowing that it's sort of, you know, it was for a thing. It's not just personal work, but also, you know, getting the permission to share it is always makes it kind of neat. Because, like, there's all... But yeah, I'm gonna try to do all 9 thumbnails today. Just slap in those colors, random colors. If anyone has a color suggestion, let me know. No need to pay points for it. You've been pretty lucky to have a very little under NDA. Nice. Especially this early in your career. Yeah, that's cool. You have more or less NDA stuff. Because I am doing it in a stage where, like, it's more or less, like... Because, I mean, surely it would make sense the later in your career you'd have more NDA work, right? Because, like, you'd be probably more sort of working on parts of the project that... I mean, maybe not, actually. I don't know. I wonder how that works. I wonder if there's, like, a correlation there. As somebody who doesn't have experience, really, in that. Like, we'd have to keep an industry, like, consistent, though. So it'd have to be, like, only within games. And 2, I joined late in the production on Zadia. Gotcha. Purple and yellow. Alright. Purple and yellow sounds good. Purple and yellow. What's purple? Is that purple? It's kind of purple. That's pretty purple. Okay. Purple, yellow. What if we do the opposite of what I normally do? What if we do a very gray purple, which I know is not technically purple, it's going to be some other color, and then a very yellow yellow. What about like that? What? And then the opposite would be this, right? It'd be like that, and then a very purple purple. A lot of times people can work like 5 years and still not be able to portfolio. Can I see it? And you're like, no. It's all 5 years old. And yeah, that would suck. Talk about, like, I know it's not a good idea from a logistics and sort of security issue, but having some sort of place or way to sort of like be able to show NDA work to other like people who are hiring or something, but like getting additional permissions, but only for that, like. Maybe that's a thing sometimes, but, like, I don't think it's the norm, right? It should be more normalized. So, like, I don't know. Again, I don't know how you would do that. Unless there was, like, a standardized way of doing it where, like, these things you can show, but without this information, but only to twin. So you can normally share it with hiring teams on applications? Gotcha. Is that normal? I've seen a lot of people say that just makes sense. But at the same time, like, it doesn't that get into the weird territory of, like, leaking, you know, like, leaking company secrets, basically, to other companies? And, like, that gets into a really weird, like, not like there's, you know, it's not like it's a government, you know, like, it's, okay, the worst case scenario is they know they know that a new game's coming out and it has something to do with something or other, and, like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's super high stakes, but it obviously is. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on NDA stuff for so long, and not be able to have anything to share in like or put in their portfolio that they've been working on. Really call them and ask them, and they'll confirm your work, and it's more about your accolades, which is not. It's so just trust us, you know. Just trust me. I mean, I literally. And yeah, I mean that to me in some ways is how it should be, right? Because you should one get hired for the work you've done, not for the company you've worked for, right? If you were like a I don't know, if you were a janitor at a company work, and then they just take your word and hire you, like, you know, like you shouldn't be able, the work should matter. Many references will only say yes they worked here. Yeah. But like I feel like but yeah, Vegas or sputtering or whatever any other synonym for that word, let me know. Because I am dropping frames, but it's not many. It is. The waiter just informed me I was apparently sitting next to Jodie Foster. Huh. In the Hannibal Lecter show, she's Clarice. What else was she in? I don't know what else she was in. That's funny though. I like her acting. Yeah, I think she has. Yeah, I like her acting too. I think I haven't seen that much stuff with her. She has a very distinct voice. Yeah, Silence of the Lambs. Thank you, Vegas. Yeah, she has a very distinct voice. Anyway. That's one of the perks I feel like of being in a big city. Right? With like being online, right? Is there's all sorts of cool people you can just like intermingle with. It doesn't really matter. I think the neat thing about online is that it doesn't really and like it wouldn't really matter. So it's more about like who you are in the moment, kind of. I don't know. There's something nice. I heard that happens super often in LA. Flight Plan. I might have seen Flight Plan. I don't know. I can't put a. I have no visual imagery to that movie. Like I don't know what it is. Like I've heard of it, but I couldn't tell you a single thing about it. Are you just looking at her IMDb, Vegas? Or do you actually know all these off the top of your head? Because that's pretty impressive if you do. One time, Mark Ruffalo, I don't know who that is. Mark Ruffalo was hanging out in the park around here. Like a, is that? I've heard the name. I don't know politicians very well. I'm clueless. I don't know who that is. I sounds like a politician, but no, now like, maybe it's possible. He's Hulk. Yeah, Bruce Banner. Oh, okay. Name. Yeah, okay. Not a politician then. Good to know. Political sway because you're popular and famous, then it makes sense. Like that seems like a good thing. Also, maybe you just enjoy doing that. I don't know. I'm already slowing down with my choices. Let's do some deep reds. All mishmash of colors. No unity in this at all. Just all the colors. If we do go more desaturated. But I knew those movies. I have seen all those movies several times. Gotcha. I've seen Panic Room a couple times. That was like in my teenage years. That was one of my neighbor's favorite movies. And I think Panic Room was that movie for him. But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. How about one painting with autumn colors? Tis the season yet? It's almost. That's not very brown. That's pretty brown. Dark colors, golden, golden colors, making shapes, golds. More mute. I think we need more muted colors. Super yellow here already. Get some yellow in there. This it looks like a fire. Hold on. Autumn oftentimes has very muted, like pale gray skies. So it's like a lot of blue brown. That's autumn is like blue brown colors, right? There's some yellows. That's pretty golden. But then we also get some like paler colors that look kind of bluish, I feel like. Stuff like that. Browns, yellows, and oranges, what I think. Yeah, but just on their own though, it doesn't feel super autumn without all those warms. I feel like if you need some sort of muted color, because if you don't have something super muted that is like a grayish color, I don't feel like those colors pop through and feel like that autumn color. Like the oranges and the yellows are definitely what like my brain thinks of. But as a color palette, it doesn't, to me, just having oranges and yellows doesn't actually feel like that. I feel like you need at least a muted color in there. Like some sort of muted, it could be a muted red that's going to look a little cooler. But I feel like this does a pretty good job. That's one of those things with color where like sometimes I try to articulate it, but like it doesn't come through. Where like the thing, and maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe those colors on their own. Maybe you should be muted. ... Ooh, ominous. Is that a threat, Vegas? No. But a lot of times the thing that I have in my head, is like you'll remember the bright colors, but there's actually my beloved orange is a nice color. I don't know. It doesn't have much on that purple. I know how much you like purple. Anti-purple hater over there. No, I feel like orange, like these two palettes, I like both of them. I know you're not a big purple fan, but I don't know. I like purple. And it goes well with orange. Like, what color to better go with the purple than the orange, I feel like, although, to be fair, I think blues go really well with orange, because they get that nice... Don't tell Rona, but I also don't really like purple. I like it as a color to go with things. But yeah, it's, I know. But purple, I guess purple and green are. But no, purple goes well with orange. Like a desaturated purple, I think goes nice with orange. Blue and orange is really good. Yeah, it is. Yeah, blue and orange is nice. I feel like you can do a lot of nice stuff with purple, though. I feel but reds are just so much more, you kind of feel, they feel different when they're saturated in a lot of them. Whereas purples can feel a little overwhelming, I feel like. I don't know. Those dark purples tend to be accents. Yeah, I think so. And like weird purples. It's like, it's the browns, it's the reds, it's the sort of... Oh, okay. Oh, my internet just... Oh, my stream just literally... One stream bitrate literally dropped to 0. My internet's just being terrible. Alright, well, if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, these paintings in a thumbnail and vote and pick one, go over there. So...